We can all learn valuable lessons based on current events that are going on in our society today. I came across a recent study where it said 70% of employers will look at your social media before making any hiring decisions. And according to another study, 35% of college admission officers will check the social media profiles of potential applicants. So why does this matter? Because what we put on the internet today is there to stay. And people that are making important decisions in your life are looking at it. Trust me. Let me give you an example. In my law practice, whenever I get a new case, one of the first things that I will do is I will look at all the social media sites of all people involved in that particular case. I had a case a while back, and of course, following my normal procedure, I looked at all potential parties' social media profile. And then we got into a settlement conference where we had a mediator. Well, the other side was gloating, if you will, over how credible their witness was. They were saying this witness was going to make or break the case, and it's really going to hurt my case. Knowing what I already knew about this witness, I showed the mediator this witness's Facebook profile. It was a picture of him smoking a joint. The mediator laughed and then showed it to the other side, and then the case resolved in my client's favor. Now that's kind of a drastic example, but it does go on in the legal world where attorneys will look at social media profiles on any given case. Now some people may be thinking that, you know what, this really doesn't apply to me because I'm not even on social media. Well, you are, and you don't even know it. Because let me give you an example where someone goes, they're out and about. Let's say they go to a wedding or some sort of party. Someone out there is taking a photograph or a video of them. They don't even know. And they upload it to social media, and it puts that person in a precarious position. And let's say they're in a lawsuit, and then they say, I can't do this and that, and this video shows otherwise, or it just paints a bad picture of them. So yes, I think we're all, even though some people say I'm not active on social media, I think we're all subject to being on social media, either directly or indirectly. So what can you do? First, be very mindful of what you put on the internet, on any social media site, whether it's a video, a comment, a picture, anything. Even if you have your social media site set to private, still be aware of what you put out there for public consumption. What I do in my practice and what attorneys are doing these days is that they're issuing subpoenas to Facebook and other social media sites to retrieve information that is on there currently or information that has been deleted. So even though you may delete something from your social media website, it doesn't mean it's gone. It's still out there. And secondly, remember that just because you're not posting it, it doesn't mean that someone else isn't. Now, this information applies to all of us. You know, as adults, we should know better. What I'm really concerned about is the younger adults, teenagers and so forth, is that, you know, they're in a spot in their life where they're consumed at this point with social media. So they have to really be particularly careful about what they're doing, because right now they're creating a record. And you want that record to be as clean as possible because, again, you know, your child may be interviewing for a job at some point, a very important position they want to get, and something they have done in their teenage years come back to bite them. Same thing if they're running for political office or trying to get into graduate school. All that applies, and all that's fair game for people that are looking at that information because, you know, if they see something that is not puts a positive light on your child, then, you know, they're going to look at another applicant or someone who's more deserving in their eyes. So we as adults, we should be very careful, and we should know better. I mean, just pause before you put anything out there and ask yourself, is this something that's appropriate? Or is this something that, you know, I don't want it to come back a year from now, 5 years now, 10 years now, could it come back to haunt me? And then, you know, have a conversation with your children about social media, about the record they're creating. And you want them to not regret decisions that they're making today down the road. I'm Blase and Zena with Murphy's Law Undone. Just remember, just because it can go wrong doesn't mean it has to.